What is digital drug dealing? In this video, we're going to cover that and much more. We're going to keep it tight and keep it to the point. And the reason I want to cover that, guys, is by the way, if you can follow me on social media, one of my channels, my Instagram channel, at the time of me recording this is at digital drug dealing. And sometimes I refer to this business model as digital drug dealing. Which for those of you that are like, what the heck is that? It is also called digital real estate. It's also called rank and rent. And it is the simple business model of building a website, ranking it on Google, and taking the phone calls that come from that website and selling it to a local business owner. But I'm going to explain to you why I call this digital drug dealing, why I liken this to dealing drugs digitally. And I don't even know if me saying that is going to make this video completely not go anywhere in the algorithm, whatever. I just want to explain it. But I'm going to explain that much more in this video. And the reason why is today I was at the gym and somebody came up to me, it's about 4 or 5 hours ago, and somebody came up to me and said, hey, I saw your car on by the way, my license plate says landlord. That's my license plate. I know it's kind of cringe, but it seemed on brand. It was fun. So I got it. And he's like, I'm guessing you have a bunch of real estate. And I said, I have a few properties, but let me tell you, I actually do digital real estate. And he's like, what does that mean? I'm like, well, let me explain. And we talked for a bit, and I said, well, add me on Instagram. Let's connect there. I'll send you my number, whatever. Let me finish my workout. So he said, okay, what's your name? I said, Nick Wood. It's under Nicholas Wood. And then, of course, I'm like, well, let me explain. I'm like, dude, it's going to say digital drug dealing as the username. And let me explain. So I thought, you know what? Maybe I should explain that to everybody else because it seems a little bit weird. It seems a little bit cringe. I've even had people that have said, hey, maybe you should change that because it's probably going to hurt you in the algorithms stuff, which I probably will at some point, but when I got it, I thought it was catchy and I decided to do it. So I'm going to explain that on this video. I'll keep it really tight, but for those of you that are brand new, this is your first video. My name's Nick Wood. Why should you listen to me? Well, you probably shouldn't, because if you listen to me and you believe me, you're going to believe everybody else. But if you're wondering why I feel like I have the authority or the confidence to make a video on this topic or on this, this digital real estate topic, the reason being is because I've been doing this, not just because I've been doing this a long time, but even though I have been doing this a long time, but because I've had a lot of success and a lot of failure doing this. So since 2020, we've done over 7 figures. And guys, I made my money when I very, very, very first started. My very first couple million, I made from doing the model, building a website, ranking it on Google, and taking the phone calls and renting them to a local business owner, and doing it again and again and again, and changing the niche and charging more, and changing the niche and charging more, and keeping the same niche and charging more, and getting, just increasing the service, but getting bigger clients, more websites. That's it. No SEO. My business wasn't comprised of all these different services. It was that. Build a website, rank it, rent it. Okay? That's why you could consider listening to me, but you should take everything that I say and test it and not believe it and try to prove that it's wrong, because if it's true, it should work, correct? If you do it long enough, if you do it exactly how I explain it. So anyway, that's a little bit about me. So let's talk about digital drug dealing. I got this name and I liked the name for multiple reasons. Number one is this business model, the business model of building websites, ranking them, and then renting them out. The reason I started calling it digital drug dealing is because the margins are so ridiculous that it is comparable only to that of drug dealing. Okay, if any of you guys have watched this show called Narcos or any of these Escobar or whatever, and they talk about the margins, and you look at how much they buy it from whatever country, and they come and sell it for 10x or 15x, and it's ridiculous margins because it costs nothing to build, nothing to make, and people want it and they will pay ridiculous money for it. It is very similar to that in meaning, and I mean that because you can build a website, you can build a project, you can build a asset is another way of saying it, for $80. Okay, if you're doing the work, if you're doing the content, etc. By the way, I have an entire podcast episode. If you go to my podcast on Spotify or Apple, it's called Digital Real Estate Secrets, on the true cost of building a project. It's less than $100. Okay, it does cost you some time, does cost you some sweat equity, but less than $100, and you can rent these out for hundreds, sometimes multiple thousands of dollars per month. And these clients, if you do it correctly and you have good low attrition, they will stay with you for years and years and years with very little maintenance. Okay, so the number one reason is because it is the margins are very similar to that of drugs. Okay, just facts. The second reason why I call this digital drug dealing is because the way that we get our clients in this business model, which is something I teach inside my community, inside of Digital Landlords, and I give the overview inside of these videos, some breadcrumbs, as well as inside of my free Facebook group. A little plug for that. It's artofdre.com. You can check it out. We also have a free Discord channel. The way that we sell our projects, once the leads start to come in, what we do is instead of going and saying, hey, do you want to buy my leads? Hey, do you want to work with me? We actually go in and we take a side door approach, and we call the business owner with a lead already in our hand and say, hey, Mr. Business Owner, Mrs. Business Owner, I have a lead in concrete. And by the way, I know you're interested in concrete leads because you're already paying for concrete leads from such and such service. Would you like to take a couple of these for free in exchange for a phone call for a conversation about maybe working together down the road? And why do I say that's like digital drug dealing? Because the drug dealers, what do? They go and they take their product and they give out samples. They say, hey, guys, you should try this out. By the way, I apologize for that. Just got some allergies going on. Okay, they go to these buyers or whoever, and they say, here, try this out. It's the best product on the internet, or it's not the internet. It's the best product in this area or whatever. And I'll prove it to you. Take a sample, take a bump, whatever. And guess what? These people will do it. And if it's good, they will get hooked and they will want more. And they give the free sample to get the larger sample. You know who else does this? Costco. Costco's figured this out, same strategy. They give out the free samples. You go in, you'd never try quiche, you'd never try this weird drink. You try it, it's amazing, it's delicious, and you're probably hungry, and it's probably not as good. It probably tastes better than it really is from your microwave. But nonetheless, you end up walking out with stuff that you would never even think about buying. So it's the exact same thing with this, with this business model. We're going to give you the very thing that you're interested in. And I know you're interested in it because I'm not calling you unless you're already interested in it. And I'm going to let you taste it. I'm going to hook you on it. And then I'm going to say, hey, if you want more, let me tell you what the deal is. Okay? And I'll explain to people up front. There's no qualms. There's no shame whatsoever in doing that. So guys, this is why I call this business model digital drug dealing. It's also called rank and rent. It's also called digital real estate, but it's very catchy to say digital drug dealing. I'm not interested in selling drugs. I'm interested in doing everything above the book, by the book. I'm interested in doing everything white hat. I'm interested in building an empire, and I need to do clean business. I need to do something that is adding value, that is recession resistant, that is something that people actually need. It's not selling some little widget on TikTok Shop. No offense to those that do, but I want something that is inherently valuable to people. And by selling leads, that's exactly what I'm doing, because leads are the lifeblood of business. At least that's what they say. And if you think about it, it really does make sense. So this is digital drug dealing. If you guys have not heard of it, if you guys have not heard of digital real estate, check out some of our other videos. Go listen to some of the podcasts. It is a phenomenal business. It has provided an amazing life for me. It has allowed me to become free to travel the world. I've spent 90 plus days in Dubai this year. I've spent 90 plus days in Africa. I've spent about 30 to 45 days in London. I've spent a week and a half in Paris. Man, it has been phenomenal, all while having a family, all while, doing everything else and not just throwing caution to the wind. And it is all because of this business model. Guys, remember, money loves speed.